Just stop. You don't need a manager, you don't need a label, but take control and take time to understand that you are trying to figure out how to conduct yourself as an actual business. As an entertainment attorney, I've been doing this for over 9 years, and not just working with musicians throughout that whole period, but also being a musician myself. I've been in music since I was 4. That Orko has also been in music forever and beyond. So today we're going to talk about kind of revealing the secrets of how to not be a broke musician. The first way that I like to kind of put this is, if you have a side job, it's important to talk about what this looks like. So
Yeah.
let's not say a side job. You have a main job. You have a job that you do
Right.
during the day, whether it's a 9 to 5 or something
For a
else.
lot of artists, I think that even just doing music is barely considered a side job for some of them. So yeah, their main sources of income.
For a lot of people, the main source of income is not enough to pay for the
True.
side hustle, which is music. And that's always what this looks like. In order for you to do your thing, someone has to pay for it, and that someone is you. And the other part of it is, well, what you do in the music business, it's also not bringing in money or enough money to pay for your music career. Okay, so that's situation number 1. Situation number
Yeah.
2 is that, let's say you don't have any kind of main job that you're doing, and actually music is your main thing. But the problem is that you only have certain places that you're getting funds from. It's inconsistent. You might be doing shows here and there, or
Right.
maybe your streams are pretty good, but it kind of varies from month to month. So that might be you as far as where you're sitting right now and why you may kind of consider yourself to be a broke musician.
Right.
So what we want to talk about is, well, there's a different ways that we can pull in money. And the first is that you're the product. All right. So if you are the artist, if you are the band, if you are the producer, if you are basically the product in that you are trying to monetize yourself, what we run into is that we're not thinking like record labels. Okay. And so the way that I kind of will explain this to people is just to say that record labels are really good at taking someone and going, how do we make money from you? And then they end up getting very villainized for that, right? Because, record labels are exploitative. They're just trying to, get all the songs and get all the monies out of you and all this stuff. And I go, okay, so take that as true. Let's apply that to, well, what are you not doing? And
Right.
so a lot of people, they're not thinking the same kind of way.
What are you doing for yourself? What have you been doing for yourself? Record labels get villainized for trying to make money and for actually having a business around your music. I mean, you could say, well, I have this clothing line that they're taking, a cut of. I did this vodka, but like they also helped you probably get in that position in order to get those things. Like, would you have gotten those things on your own? Do you even know how to do your own cover art? Would you know how to release your music without them? So I mean, they're doing a lot of work. So I like that you said that because they're just trying to make a business. So do what they do.
Right. So then what do? Well, one of the things is that they're going to help to clarify your brand. So what is it that you're doing? So if right now I went to your Instagram, what does your Instagram look like from what's in the caption, right? Are you promoting something? Are you telling people about yourself? Because remember, a lot of people who come to your profile don't know anything about you.
Right.
And so ultimately, we're going to talk about, well, where are we trying to get them? Where are we trying to push the attention? But you have all of 3 seconds to sell yourself because your social media is your business card. So the first thing is just regularly working on what we have there. What are we posting? But building the fan base. So guess what your new full-time job is? Again, I don't care if you do have a real full-time job or you have a part-time thing that you're doing. Your new full-time job is learning marketing. And I want to be clear about this because you might see a lot of videos where people are just like, yeah, you need to post a lot more. And they're very generic, and they're just kind of telling you what the problem is. But what I'm talking about is, in order for you to execute, you need to know how to do it the proper way. So we're talking about actually learning marketing. Okay. And then from there, combining it with actually posting, right?
I mean, that's what you hope that the record label is going to do for you. You hope that, when you sign to them, they're going to just blow you out and, crazy marketing things are going to help you create the content. They're going to get you all of the cool directors and producers and, mixers. They have all the connects. They're going to put you on tour, but it all comes just all from the basic things of marketing. And in the one thing that's going to be the equation, whether or not you do it on your own or you have a record label, is if you are willing to make the content, because you're going to be the key thing. We can't have a piece of Miss Krystle's content of something new where she's not in it. Like, she has to be there for the stuff. And so it's so important that even now at your beginning stages, you just have it like etched into your muscle memory that I got to make content a few times a week, or I got to bulk content 2 days a week. Because regardless if all your dreams come true, you're going to be expected to make content. And this record label is going to be working you to the bone, because guess what? They know how to run a business, and you are a product that they are trying to make money from.
Right. So the point that we're making here is that in order for you to not be a broke musician, you have to take control over what you're doing, and you need to conduct yourself and think in the same way that a record label would. Because that's the problem. You're not thinking
Right.
like a music business right now. You're thinking like an artist. You're thinking like someone who just has big dreams, and you're not executing. Okay. So then that's the if you are the product kind of mindset. Now, what if your skills now are the product? Because you're maybe more like a
Right.
producer, you might be a studio musician, you might be a singer, and you just want to sing top lines for other producers. So, do you have a services page like on your website? Do you have somewhere where I could go right now to find out everything I need to know about you, your credentials, what have you done, what are your rates? If you don't have that, but you are selling something in the music business, that's your execution item for this week, this month. I don't care how long it takes, actually follow through on this. And another way that you could kind of do this is make a one sheet. So a one sheet can just be like a Word document, and you put in all the things that I just explained. If you're not good with websites, maybe you don't have a website, you can put all the guts into a Word document, and it's like, who are you, a picture of you, what you do, links to show your stuff, and then you just export it to a PDF and you send people your PDF. So again, don't allow yourself to not take action, because if you and your skills are the product, you need a way that you can communicate to people. Because then once you do that and you get clients, guess what happens?
What happens?
If you get clients and you do a good job, clients refer you to other clients, and people will continue to hire you. And this is what I've done with my music businesses. And this is how we grew and sustained, because of the word of mouth. Now, maybe your skills aren't the actual product. What you can do then is you have at some point, you've been in the business, you've learned, you've taken time, you can become the solution for someone else. If you are the solution for someone else, right, in the same kind of way right now, I bet you're sitting here, you clicked on this video because you're looking for help. And there are literally hundreds of thousands of people who are just like you. And there's something that you know that they don't. There's something that you can do that they can't. And so, in this idea of like you becoming the record label or the business, you can now help others. So, Orko, with just kind of even what you did on, quitting your day job and becoming a full-time content creator, music producer, there was a shift that had to happen. And that means now that you were helping other people, right? Not just yourself.
Making that shift was a long time coming, and something that I had to slowly wrap my mind around and change just the general way that I was just thinking about my music, and just general about the way that I do things. So many times for so much of our career, we do a lot of things before exposure, for opportunities, just because we think it'll be fun and creative, and all that stuff is great because it obviously builds up your skill set. It does all these things, but it doesn't do anything for you financially. It doesn't do anything towards you building towards your thing. So, it's while you're doing those things, you're thinking about the plan of the days where you will be charging, the days where you are not taking a show for an opportunity, but you have to do it because you get paid, because there's a lot that goes into a show. If you're a band, you got to rent a studio space so you all can rehearse. You all need to, you have to devote hours of your time in practicing and rehearsing and getting everything tight for the show. You have to spend man hours trying to sell tickets. Well, if you're not getting paid for that show, and like, or whatever, or you end up buying your own tickets that you have to sell, when you have to sell 50 tickets for a show and you end up buying 6 of them, why did you do all of that? For exposure, you could have gotten the same, if not better exposure, if you just took a little time with your marketing and your social media to create more engaging clips. You know what I mean? So it's just the way that you think of it. And when you help me make that switch for my career, and just how I was thinking of, like, I'm going to get paid for my productions. I'm going to start working with other artists, and just being hired out. When you do ghostwriting, when you just do all kinds of just different things that you can do, sync licensing, just opening your minds to other things and treating yourself like a business, and not just like, I mean, if you're like 15 and you're in a garage with your friends, you're having a great time. That's fun. I don't know. Justin Bieber already had quite a career because he was on his hustle at an early age. So just keep that in mind. It's never too late, but you got to go.
Well, for sure, and, I think even with what we can talk about, so you come from rock band days, and you have this, really unique experience of playing with all of your
Mhm.
heroes, you know what I'm saying? The Marilyn Mansons and the Orgies and the Deftones and and just doing big shows and collaborating with big names and all that stuff. But I remember you just saying that all these incredible opportunities didn't result in you having money. So
Yeah,
would you say
nothing.
you were a broke musician?
Oh, no, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying, like, when you're working just to eat and survive, like, you don't have money to put into your marketing, you don't have money to put in your music video, and this is something where it's still kinda where my skill set and my ability to just learn how to do a lot of things myself and not relying on other people, that's kind of saved me throughout my entire music career. So, like, if I didn't know how a program worked, I just forced myself to learn it, and I can learn things pretty easy, and that just came up again as we were working on, a music video, and there was parts of the edit that I, had to take over. I'm used to working in, programs like Adobe Premiere and just like the Adobe related products. And I had to do something in DaVinci Resolve. And so I had to completely learn a new program so I didn't have to send it off to another editor to do something with or to fix something. And I could just do it myself. But it's that training that I've done over the years of learning, like not relying on other people or having to pay them, or learning, marketing things that I can do without having to actually spend money on marketing, just making my content better. Or, it's you always have to be learning. And audiobooks, our student group that we have is just an incredible resource, hearing what other students are doing, just different courses. We offer courses, but I mean, there's other content creators and stuff, like Alex Ramosi and like all these guys that are teaching you how to, really market and build yourself your business. I'm telling you, like, it's I don't know. There's nothing. It's invaluable. That's where you save the most money, is learning how to do these things for yourself. Why you're broke is because you're either not getting money or you're outsourcing everything and you don't know how to do anything without any quality control.
Yeah, so I would say, as far as, when it comes to not being a broke musician, in my experience, including from representing just some of the biggest names in the industry, what I've seen are kind of two things. One is that you have to take control over your career and you have to stop waiting for someone else to do anything for you. Just stop. You don't need a manager, you don't need a label. And as soon as you realize that, one of those things may come along, and that's good. That's a cherry on top if you can build your team, and that's all cool. But take control. And the second piece is to take time to learn the music business and take time to understand that you are trying to figure out how to conduct yourself as an actual business. So, to Orko's points about learning programs and learning how to do all this stuff for yourself until you can get someone in place, or get someone in place who can do it for you, who you can pay, that's all great. But until then,
But even
do
that's
it
not the
yourself.
answer. But even that's not the answer, because you could be overpaying and you could be paying for people that, don't do a great job with your product or don't do a great job with what you're trying to do. And so sometimes, you can be able to step in when you know these things, and you can correct things and you can make them the way that
Right.
you want, because you shouldn't it's bad enough that you're paying for stuff, but to pay for something that you don't even aren't even happy with after all the effort and time that goes into it. Your time is the most valuable thing ever. And that's what this channel is for. It's to help you cut through all like the needless wasting of time stuff and showing you the path of what you should just do. Stop fumbling around. Stop wasting 6 months of your life going, "Oh, I'll get to it. I'll figure it. I'm coming up with the master plan of what I'm gonna start promoting, you know what I mean? Or how I'm gonna start doing my IG. I'm coming up with some ideas. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm coming up with ideas." You're just wasting time and you're wasting money.
And I did the exact same thing for sure, which is why I'm passionate to talk about this. So, yes, I have the gavel. Be sure you subscribe on Top Music Attorney so you can get all these free videos. If you want to work with us directly, apply by going to topmusicattorney.com.